right, welcome to the Rondo. This is going to be a very quick episode today. Because of the storm, Rahimi missed how many trains were cancelled? 3, 4 trains were cancelled. So I had to go and pick him up and then make my way to the studio. So we're going to do a quick one today. Gary Neville Tap podcast. You know what I'm saying? 15 minutes. And then we're going to get going. But it's your boy AA hosting. I'm joined by
Rahimi, United's finest, loyal to the soil.
There we go, man. So quickly today, it's been a mad week of PL football. We just watched the Chelsea Spurs game. Chelsea 4, Spurs 3 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm just going to ask the straight questions, like no, you know what I'm saying, no kind of warming up, getting into it. Spurs. Let's start off with Spurs first.
Spurs.
I think them losing 4-3 at home is a massive story. Ange, is it time for him to go?
So for me, I said it at the start of the season. I think the way that Spurs play, is unsustainable. I think being on all-out attack, man-for-man pressing constantly, it left so many gaps, firstly, in this game. And that's where Chelsea exploited and scored majority of their goals and won the game. But I just feel like it's an unsustainable way of playing football. And eventually, it just won't come good. I think there's no way for Spurs to evolve in this current Premier League and come good. So yeah, I don't think there's.
So he has to go.
I think there's no way for Ange to move forward with this team. I just think that.
So he has to go. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you sack Ange tonight.
If I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be very concerned about where this club is going. So yeah, I'd have serious questions for Ange today.
Fairs. Well, that's sack Ange. The thing is, I like a lot of what Ange does, but when you're looking at how tactically inflexible he is, 2-0 up, to go for Chelsea to be able to go up to 4-2. I know some of it is errors, but the way that they manage games, I do think now, I'm not saying sack him, but I think his job is in danger, I would say. I would say he needs to turn it around. I would think if we're looking at January and they still haven't, started to put some form of top 4 charge together, it's not looking likely now, then I would say that he has to go. And it's a shame, but they just don't manage these games well enough. Him being tactically stubborn, I think Carragher was going in on him today. It's naive, you know what I'm saying? When you're looking at the way tactics have progressed, you have to be able to manage games, especially when you don't have the quality of players to be as gun-ho as you want to be. The top clubs with better players are managing games, are adapting their tactics in games. We're seeing it from Slot, especially this season, from Arteta. Pep has done it so well in the past. I think he needs to fix up, especially in those areas.
I think
Moving on. Sorry,
it's
quick.
It's got to be quick.
It's quick today. Chelsea. So I'm just gonna, before I kind of ask the overall question about Chelsea, I think I've got to ask the man who took the headlines again today: 2 pens and assists, some amazing play. Yeah. Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Just how good is Cole Palmer?
He's a wonderful footballer. Uncomfortable conversation soon. He affects the game almost every game that I watch him now, and even in a big game today, people have been talking about how he's ineffective in the bigger games. Obviously, 2 penalties is what he scored, but his general play in the game, if you actually watched what he was doing in the game, the lead up to the penalty, even I think it was the second one, him and Sancho were balling out. Like I think he spun 3 or 4 players in the box, and then obviously he's released it. And I just look at Palmer now and the way that he affects games. I think he's an excellent player, and eventually there will be uncomfortable conversations had. I think if Chelsea win anything this season, it will be down to Palmer's excellence. Fair enough.
Yeah, man. I can't lie. The boy's him. He was excellent again today, man. I wish I could do my own piece on him, but I think you covered it well. I just want to say, though, I just think the quality of the goal where he got... No, I don't know. Did he get the assist for it? But
he got the assist. Yeah, it was assist.
Yeah, he was cold in that play. And then I think to Panenka, the second penalty, he knows he's him.
Yeah, he uses class.
Yeah, so I just think it's absolutely top draw. But I just want to say, though, Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, I can't get onto him today.
You can't get onto him?
No, I can't. Never once in my life did I see him cut inside with that speed and intensity. United is the only thing I'd say. But today he was genuinely spectacular. Who would have thought put an intelligent player in a system where he can link up and have interplay with other intelligent players and he'll flourish? Who would have thought that that's possible? But you look at Jadon Sancho now and the way that he's turned around. Well, let me not even say that yet. We need to see consistent performances before I can say he's turned his career around fully. But I think if today is a display of what he's going to show in the future, then he's got a promising future at Chelsea. He can make that left wing position his own.
So do you think it was a system thing then at United?
At United,
and he always had the quality, or was it more of a case of
you can never dispute a man's quality when 5 years ago he's being compared with the top players in the world in terms of his output. He clearly has the quality in terms of goal scoring and assisting off both wings. Like, he's capable of doing it off the right and off the left. My issue is I think United have a problem, a toxicity problem, but also I think he didn't gel well there. Clearly, I think he's much more comfortable being back in London where it's his home, and also he's gelled much better with the Chelsea players.
The style suits him well, doesn't it?
The style suits him way significantly better. Like, he has so many options around him now, and I look at the way that United used to play. We're quite gung ho counter-attacking football. Chelsea are much more developed in terms of the way that they build up and the interplay and the links that they have.
It suits him, doesn't it? He gets a lot of players with him for him to combine. You saw how well he did for the first penalty.
Yeah, excellent.
I can't lie, Sancho was sublime today,
excellent.
Man. He balled out today along with Cole Palmer, probably the man of the matches.
Yep.
But
Lavia as well. Lavia was excellent.
Yeah, Lavia played really well. But I just think for Sancho, it's just so surprising to see him playing at this level after how much he struggled at Man United. And you just got to look at Man United. Like you said, there is a real structural problem there. I know he, maybe doesn't suit the style as much, but how poor he looked at United and the way that he's now playing at Chelsea. But no, I'm happy for him. It's good to always see a player have a little bit of a renaissance tour. I know you're probably
I'm fuming.
I know you're probably fuming, but no, fair enough to him, man. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, like proper top class performance. Like had a bit of everything from a winger.
Yeah.
But quickly, last one on the Chelsea Spurs games. Are Chelsea in the title race?
You have to put them there now. We're 15 games in now, almost halfway through the season, and they are second. If you're not putting them in the title race, if they're above Arsenal and they're above City, who are the two teams that we thought would be in the title race this season, how can you not put Chelsea there? They're performing at a consistent level now.
So they're in the title race?
They have to be. They're second almost halfway through the season. And I know a lot of the Chelsea players, I think it's been quite good actually. They've been, in all of their press conferences, a lot of the reporters have been trying to put pressure on the Chelsea players in terms of asking them, are they in a title race themselves? And they're all pushing all the pressure off themselves and saying that they're not there yet. And even what they said today in terms of, I think it was Colwell in his interview after the game, he said, title challengers don't go 2-0 down. He's correct about that, but your league position is still second.
Yes.
So in terms of their personnel, I don't think they can win a title just because there's too many issues, I think. I think if they had a seasoned centre-back, if they had a Thiago Silva from about 5 years ago in this current team, I'd give them more of a chance of being in that or winning the title, for example. But I think there's too many issues still with Chelsea in terms of how young the team is overall, is the first thing. But also I think their centre-backs and that keeper, I think the keeper is is the thing that is holding them back the most. I think if they had a top-class keeper, like an Alisson, I think they'd be in for a better shot of winning the title. But they're definitely there.
No, I completely agree with you. I think, as a Liverpool fan, we're obviously going for the title. So I look at them and you have to still take them as a threat. I think you still have to respect them. I think, you look at where they are in the table, and I don't think you start thinking about, they don't have this or that. But if you're overall, like if you're asking me, do I think if they can win the title? I'm not sure. I think they can definitely make a good charge for it. But I just think, given the fact that you look at the centre-backs in Colwell and Badiashile and Tosin, who plays as well, none of them really give me confidence of being a real... They don't really have that strong centre-back there. And then the rest can be sort of partners, like how Liverpool have a Van Dijk, that strong centre-back that can be solid, that can be at least a 7, 8 out of 10 every week. I don't see that in them. I always see a bit of a mistake in them. And then Sanchez as well. I think he's the real number one problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Just when you have that as well with younger centre backs in front, you're just going to leak way too many goals. And you saw that in the 2 goals that they conceded early on today. Like I think Cucurella was slipping everywhere, which is so it was just something to talk about. But I just think you look at that second goal, the Kulu's goal that went in. Dreadful for Sanchez.
Yeah,
dreadful. Just one thing on Cuckoo slipping. What was happening there?
I think that's the player. You tried to blame it on the boots. You see what footballers do when they come under a bit of pressure. The guy started doing all these signals to change his boots. I just think that's just poor footing. You just need to learn how to have more balance as a professional footballer. You shouldn't be slipping all over the place. And at the top level, it costs you, and it costed them twice.
And I think you got to get your footwear sorted, right? Like you choose your boots. You assess the ground. I mean, it's been raining like heck. You should make sure you're choosing studs that are appropriate for the ground. I didn't really like the way that he was kind of giving the kit man a bit of attitude. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
bro.
weird.
I like the fact that Carragher hotted him up because I was
Yeah,
like, bro,
it's good.
that's on you. You know, you gotta decide what boots are best. You're there huffing and puffing, making signs at the kit man.
I agree.
Like, bro, that's all of you, man. I don't rate that at all. Rashford did a bit of that the other day as well.
Yeah.
And I don't really like him, man. You should, rate
feel
all
like
of your
should-
staff and treat them as equals. And I think management should be instilling that. I'm not really liking maybe this new trend I'm seeing from players where they're kind of disrespecting it, but. Fair enough to him, though. At the end of the day, they won the game. He made a little bit of a joke of it. Yeah. Him and Maresco were laughing. He put the boots in the trash can on his Instagram. So I thought all of that was funny. Like, that's the thing, football's narratives, because now that he's lost, we even just mentioned that as a last topic now, like, you're able to forget about it.
Yeah.
But quickly moving on. So another big match in the title race was Arsenal.
Yeah. Stop.
Yeah, call them as you please. Yeah, Set Piece FC. Yeah. So I think you were kind of going ham. On our drive on the way here, our long drive on the way here, and you were saying that Set Piece FC is unsustainable. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So when I say that, I don't actually have an issue with the way that Arsenal are scoring goals. In terms of the set pieces, I actually think it's a dangerous weapon that should be used by all teams that are aiming for any silverware at the end of the season. Scoring set pieces should be a part of your game, and you should be implementing that consistently. So Arsenal doing that is fantastic. You saw it work and do wonders against United last week. Because in open play, they didn't create much against United. However, their set pieces what allowed them to win the games. I just think that it's unsustainable to play or to rely on set pieces as your main sort of way to score. I think is wrong. Yeah. I think majority of other teams or any team that is going for the league or winning titles, you have a variety of ways that you can score goals. Arsenal fans, a lot of them complained when Odegaard was missing. There was a lack of creativity, etc. But in the last 2 weeks, they haven't created too much in open play, even whilst he's been in the team. I just feel like Arsenal's attackers need to do more to supplement I think Arsenal's attackers need to do more to score and create chances. And then the set pieces should supplement that. It shouldn't be the other way around. It shouldn't be set pieces are your main way to score. And then if we do create something from open play, then that's good. It shouldn't be like that. They should be creating multiple chances from open play, which is what they were doing a couple of seasons ago. And then on top of that, how powerful they are at set pieces, that will take you infinitely further. And that's what my issue is with Arsenal currently.
No, I completely agree with you. I don't think the set pieces take away though from the rest of their play, the way that you said a little bit, but I do think that I think the set pieces is a good way. It's a good thing that they do, which Teta has assessed and worked on, and I think it's an elite way to basically almost manufacture a game breaker, if you will. Like when games are tight, it's such a great way to get goals. And now, as a team, if you sit back, if you're a weaker team like United, or you're you're a smaller team like Fulham, where you're an underdog, and you try and sit back, because they'll get a lot of corners, a lot of set pieces, because they'll be putting that pressure on you, and that's why they're such a dangerous set piece team, if we will. It's such a great way for them to get some goals and break up the game and force the other team to have to now play out a bit more, or just generally get the goals that can win them a game. But you do need the open play goals as well. So I don't think the set pieces are a problem, but you need to be creating more from open play. And their attackers just look flat all season. Odegaard came back. It was looking like it had a little bit of something. But then again, now it seems like when the team sets up defensively, it's gone a little bit flat again. So they need to work it out. I think they needed to invest in the summer in an elite attacker, a left winger, or a striker at the least, maybe even both. But, if you were going to phase it, at least go for one. They didn't do that. So I think it will always be a little bit of a struggle for them. And like you said, set pieces can only take them so far. So it's something that they have to watch. They can't keep on dropping more points given the fact that there's already a gap to Liverpool. So I just had to, you know what I'm saying, smile about that. But yeah, 1-1 for them. 6 points now behind Liverpool, who have a game in hand. Yeah, they're making it tough. They're making it tough. I still think Liverpool will. Listen, we're still very early on in the season. Liverpool still have some tough games ahead, as do Arsenal as well. I think Arsenal keep on talking as if all those games they're seeing now, the games are winnable, but there's still plenty to play. But they're making it tough. When there's that gap, you need to start putting runs together, and they haven't been able to put a run together for a lot of the season. So it's interesting to see. But who do you fancy more to challenge? So I suppose Liverpool for you are clear like title challengers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they're going to be right up there, and they're the favourites.
Yeah.
Who do you think out of Chelsea and Arsenal? Still Arsenal?
Still Arsenal.
Just more of a team, aren't they?
Yeah, and also defenses win you titles. We spoke about Chelsea's fragilities in the back. They are Chelsea are.
But unfortunately, you can't go into detail on that question because we have a last topic which I must ask you about. Yeah. United 3-2 to Nottingham Forest on Saturday in the 5:30 kickoff. Yeah, crazy work. I call it the performance as well. Crazy. Some of the way that you got cut open in the middle, down the flanks, everywhere.
Yeah.
Was crazy. And the errors.
Yeah, so I think mainly...
Onana, please.
Onana.
But before you... Talk to me about that one.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that one first.
So, Onana first?
Actually, no, not Onana. Lissandro first. Quickly, yeah, Lissandro.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Sorry, excuse my French. But yeah, you're on the line. You're on your goal line. Clear the fucking ball.
For that third goal.
For the third goal, yeah.
Fairs.
For the first goal, where he
but
gets
yeah, that's what we
yeah,
talk about. The first goal, he gets dunked on. Why'd you have a fight? I told you. You told me. You used to tell me Lissandro is one of your best players.
He is. He definitely is. Like, I'll stick by that.
Lissandro's one of your best players.
Yeah,
bro.
100%.
A 5'7" centre back doesn't work in this league.
I think it does, and I think it will. I think he will come good. And I've seen. The thing is, the problem is, I've seen it. I've seen it do well. I've seen Lissandro do well consistently throughout a season.
You can't be helped. You can't be helped.
But on the topic of Lissandro, I think it's definitely a tactical thing. I don't know why he's marking somebody that is 6'4" in the box. I can't blame him for that. I'm blaming management more for that. He
just get a centre back of the adequate height, bro. just try and do that.
I don't think that will solve our problems.
That's good on the ball. You know you can get both.
You can.
Gabriel, Saliba, Van Dijk.
There's a few examples out there, but none of them are as good on the ball as Lissandro that you just mentioned. Yes or no? No,
okay.
Genuine question. Are any of them as good
Gabriel's
on the ball?
good on the ball?
Is he better than Martinez though? And he's not. That is
sure.
He definitely is.
I don't think there's a huge difference.
I think there's a. I think
Martinez is 5'7", so yeah, he's quite good on the ball. Like and intricate. Like he's short. Yeah. These guys are tall, big guys. They're not going to be. Is Van Dijk going to jink like Martinez?
Of course not.
But is he going to defend properly?
He will.
Anyway, we can't get into much here. Onana,
yeah. Horrendous. I spoke not last week, a couple of weeks ago when I was on. I said Onana's quite a safe pair of hands, and I'm quite confident in his abilities on the ball. That hasn't really wavered after this game. However, that sort of bum gene or that janky gene that he's got, that needs to be eradicated as quickly as possible. Yesterday, the performance was bad. Two of the goals directly were his fault. That's what I'd personally say. And I don't know if he's a stopgap in terms of will he be here.
He's a stopgap. Let me just say that. Sorry, I'm going to tell you that now. Onana is a stopgap. Onana is, listen, he's done well this season so far. But this error that he made on Saturday, he has it in him. I'm telling you. He showed too much last season for me to convince that can't. And the fundamentals of that, you know when you like make an error as a keeper and it's like sort of out of the blue, maybe you make a blunder with a cross or you pass the ball to an opposition. Those errors where it's like a shot coming straight at him, they should never even happen.
It's Sunday League.
And I think for me, Onana is, at the moment, he's not good enough for United. But United, where they are right now, they're so bad that you just have to be like, we have deeper issues. You know, you've got the way you've got other players who are well below the level where you just got to take Onana with you for now. Mm-hmm. But trust me, he's not a United level keeper. I've seen enough.
You've seen enough.
I've never been as convinced as others, but hey, anyway, last very question before we finish. Amorim, he's got a job on his hands. But is he the man for it?
100%.
He's won 1, drawn 1, lost 2.
Yeah.
City next week.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of rival fans will be trying to put pressure on United. But what I want from the United fan base is for us to stick together and stay strong. So all of these rival fans will be saying, oh yeah, he's not got a good record so far. Of course he hasn't. He's trying to implement a new system with players that are clearly inadequate. If these players were capable of doing what he wants them to do on the pitch, you'd see better results, and that's an absolute fact.
Yes. So he's the man. It's just going to take time.
It's going to take time.
I like that. Well, we'll finish on that. Like I said, a very quick episode today, but we must finish on time because our studio has been very good to us in letting us have this episode after we were ridiculously late because of the weather. But no, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, and all of that lovely stuff. We promise we'll be back next week with an episode of Adequate Time.
Yeah.
Say nothing, man.
Thank you.